The first thing she said the next morning wasn't thank you. It wasn't good morning. It was a whisper, tight, controlled, and terrified. Last night, nothing happened. Right? And in that moment, standing in a glass-walled office that smelled like expensive coffee and power, I realized my entire life could shatter depending on how I answered. Because something had happened. Just not the way she thought. Let me start where everything went wrong. The night before. It was supposed to be routine. It always is. Pick up. Drive. Disappear. That's my job. I'm the guy behind the wheel, the one executives forget exists the moment the door closes. I drive the people who run companies worth billions. People who make decisions that ripple across markets while I grip the steering wheel and pretend I'm invisible. I like it that way. Invisible people don't get blamed. Invisible people don't get dragged into scandals. Invisible people survive. At least, that's what I believed before her. Her name is Claire Whitmore. CEO of Apex Technologies. 41. Brilliant. Ruthless when she needs to be. The kind of woman whose presence changes the temperature in a room. People straighten their backs when she walks by. Including me. That night, Apex was hosting a private celebration. Top-floor event. Manhattan skyline glowing like a promise nobody keeps. I was told to wait. 30 minutes turned into 2 hours. Then I got the call. Lucas, her assistant said, voice tense. We need you. Now. When Claire stepped into the back seat, I knew instantly something was wrong. Her heels were in her hand. Her hair, normally perfect, was loose. Her eyes were glassy, unfocused. She laughed once. Soft. Broken. Take me home, she said. That was it. No address change. No instructions. The city blurred past us in neon streaks. She leaned forward suddenly, resting her forehead against the glass partition. Do you know what it's like, she murmured, to have everyone need something from you, and no one actually care? I didn't answer. Drivers don't answer questions like that. But she kept talking. About pressure. About expectations. About how being strong all the time feels like slowly drowning while everyone applauds. Every sentence felt like it wasn't meant for me, but it landed anyway. Then she said something that made my stomach drop. I did. She opened the door and vomited on the curb. The most powerful woman in my company, on her knees in the street. I got out. Held her hair back. Didn't think. Just acted. When she looked up at me, eyes watery, vulnerable, something shifted. Not attraction. Something worse. Trust. Her apartment was nothing like I expected. Minimal. Cold. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the river. No personal photos. No warmth. A fortress. She stumbled inside, kicked the door shut, and leaned against it like she'd been holding herself together with duct tape. Don't leave, she said. 3 words. That's all it took. I froze. I just need a minute, she added quickly. I won't. I won't be like this tomorrow. I helped her to the couch. Sat her down. Got her water. She took my wrist suddenly. Her grip was firm. You won't tell anyone, she said. It wasn't a request. It was fear wrapped in authority. I won't, I said. I meant it. She closed her eyes. And then she passed out. Just like that. No drama. No seduction. No line crossed. She slept. I sat there all night. Because leaving felt wrong. Because if something happened to her, I'd never forgive myself. Because I knew how fast stories get twisted when powerful people wake up confused. At dawn, I left quietly. No note. No trace. I thought I'd done the right thing. I was wrong. The next morning, my phone lit up. HR. My chest tightened. Then another message. Asterisk, come to my office. Immediately, asterisk. When I walked in, Claire was already there. Perfect again. Composed. Impeccable. She didn't sit. She closed the door herself. Then she looked at me. And asked the question that would decide everything. Last night. A pause. Nothing happened. Right? Her eyes searched my face, not for truth. For reassurance. And that's when I realized something terrifying. She didn't remember everything. And whatever I said next would rewrite both our lives. I should have answered immediately. Yes. Nothing happened. 4 words. Clean. Safe. Career saving. But the silence stretched. And in that silence, something dangerous formed between us. She was watching me closely. Not like a boss evaluating an employee. Like someone trying to recover a memory that slipped through their fingers. Her office was all glass and steel, sunlight pouring in like a spotlight. No place to hide. No shadows to soften the truth. Lucas, she said carefully, you're being quiet. I swallowed. Because the truth was complicated. Nothing happened. But something happened. Not physically. Not romantically. Something heavier. Something that couldn't be undone. I took you home, I said finally. You were sick. You fell asleep. I stayed until I knew you were okay. Then I left. Her shoulders loosened. Just slightly. So, nothing inappropriate, she said. No, I replied. She nodded, once. Twice. Relief flashed across her face, but it didn't stay. Because relief only lasts when there's nothing else to fear. And Claire Whitmore always feared something. She turned away from me, staring out at the river far below. Do you know how many people would love to see me fall? She asked quietly. I didn't answer. But she didn't need me to. In this company, she continued, one mistake doesn't just ruin you. It becomes a weapon. A headline. A lawsuit. She turned back. You understand why I had to ask. I did. What she didn't say was louder than anything else. If the story were different, you'd already be gone. I understand, I said. Another pause. Then she surprised me. Sit down. I hesitated. Then sat. She leaned against her desk, arms crossed, not defensive. Guarded. You shouldn't have stayed, she said. I know. But you did. Yes. She studied me again. This time, slower. You could have left. Could have called someone. Security. My assistant. I didn't think it was safe. For who? She asked. For you, I said. That landed. Hard. Her jaw tightened. For the first time since I'd known her, she looked unsettled. You know, she said slowly, people are always kind to me because they want something. She let that sit. Power does that. I stayed quiet. You didn't want anything, she said. Not a question. No. She exhaled. And then she said something that made my blood run cold. That makes you unpredictable. After that meeting, everything changed. Not dramatically. Not obviously. But subtly. Too subtly. My schedule shifted. I started getting assigned to her exclusively. Early mornings. Late nights. Weekends. At first, it felt like trust. Then it felt like surveillance. She stopped sitting in the back seat. She sat up front. Close enough that I could smell her perfume. She asked questions she'd never asked before. Where I grew up. Why I chose this job. If I lived alone. I answered carefully. Because every word felt like it mattered. Then came the night she crossed a line. Not physically. Emotionally. We were stuck in traffic. Rain hammering the windshield. City locked in gridlock. Out of nowhere, she said, "Do you remember everything from that night?" Yes. Everything, she pressed. Yes. Another pause. Then, I don't. I tightened my grip on the wheel. That scares me, she admitted. I said nothing. What if, she continued, voice barely above the rain, I said something that could hurt me? You didn't. What if I trusted the wrong person? I glanced at her. She was staring straight ahead. I think you trusted the right one, I said. That was the moment. The exact moment things tipped. The next day, HR called again. This time, not for me. For her. Rumors. Whispers about the party. About her drinking. About someone leaving with her. Someone anonymous. Someone, me-shaped. I wasn't named. Not yet. But I knew how this worked. Someone would connect the dots. And when they did, there would be only one acceptable version of the story. The version where I disappear. That evening, Claire didn't go home. She told me to drive. Didn't say where. Just drive. We ended up outside the city. Quiet road. No traffic. She told me to stop. Then she said something I never expected. If this comes out, she said, they'll destroy you. My heart pounded. But I won't let that happen, she added. I looked at her. How? I asked. She turned toward me fully. Eyes sharp again. Focused. You're going to stay close to me, she said. Very close. That wasn't reassurance. That was strategy. And suddenly I understood. I wasn't just her driver anymore. I was her alibi. Her shield. Her liability. And if things went wrong, I wouldn't just lose my job. I'd lose everything. The car sat idling in the dark. Neither of us moved. Because we both knew the truth now. Whatever happened that night didn't end at her apartment. It was just beginning. And the next move would decide who got burned.